Great. I'm going to get started here shortly. We're just, some attendees are just joining the call, so we'll give them a bit more time. But yeah, I just wanted to get started. So good morning. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Ainsley Murdoch, and I'm the Client Relations Manager with AMM Trading Company. So AMM facilitates the group buying program, saving municipalities time and money on everyday purchases. So with our cooperative purchasing programs, all of our AMM members get to benefit from fully trade compliant group buying power to receive preferred membership pricing, dividends, consolidated invoicing, as well as access to our wide variety of vendors and suppliers. So today we are highlighting our traffic supplies program with ATS Traffic. ATS is committed to building safer communities and offers preferred membership pricing for a wide range of traffic equipment and supplies to ensure safety and success of all your projects. So joining me on today's call is Jill Harlick. She's the account manager with ATS Traffic. Before we get started, there are a couple administrative items to address. The Q&A period will take place at the end of the presentation. The Q&A box is built into the Zoom platform at the bottom of your screen. So at any time, just use this tool to type in your question and we will answer these questions towards the end of the presentation. We will also be recording this webinar and emailing a link to the recording presentation over the next day or so to all participants. In the same email, we also include a link to the presentation and your group buying kit, which contains additional information about the program. Lastly, to keep members up to date, we will continue to host these webinars every few weeks, featuring a different supplier program. So be sure to be on the lookout through AMM notices, whether that's constant contact, member advisories, bulletin, social media, and on our website for details on how to register for upcoming webinars. Also, we'd like to hear from you. So feel free to email me with recommendations of certain suppliers or programs under the AMM Trading Company you want to learn more about. All right, now I'll pass it over to Jill to get us started with today's presentation.
Thank you, Ainsley. As she had mentioned before, I'm Jill Harlick. I'm the account manager for AMMs. Most of you on this call today I've dealt with, and for those that I haven't, welcome and nice to meet you. The presentation is going to be about 40 minutes today, depending how quickly I go through the slides. I have a tendency of rushing through things, so I'll try to slow it down a little bit so that you guys can take in all the information. I'm going to start off with a little 2-minute video. It's just kind of an overview of who ATS Traffic is, and then I will go into the presentation. So just bear with me when I click the video, and you can enjoy watching it.
Jill, just letting you know, we can't hear the video. We can see it.
Oh.
Yeah, it might be playing on your end. Others are noting that in the chat.
It's playing on my end.
Oh, okay.
Did you hear it before when we were running it?
Initially, you could hear it's like muffled.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'll send the link out later to everyone.
Yeah, we can see it fine, and it's this muffled sound, so.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. What I can do is I can send out that video link to you later on so you can actually hear the video that goes with it. So we'll get in. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you good.
Okay. So ATS Traffic, who we are, we were founded in 1966. We have 7 branches in 4 provinces across Canada. We're the 3M authorized fabricator and one of the top 50 best managed companies. We have 55 years of experience, over 15,000 products and SKUs available to you, and we manufacture over 1,000 signs per day. And we have 250 staff Canada-wide. Just wanted to touch base quickly on the 3M. I was under the impression for a few years our warranty period. So I wanted to clarify today that our 3M HIP comes with a standard 7-year prorated warranty. And if you were to go with a diamond grade, that automatically comes with a 10-year prorated warranty. There was some misconception in the past that it was sometimes only 5 years, but ours is now 7 years on the HIP and 10 years on the diamond grade. Here's some of the IntelliTraffic is another division of ATS. I won't be talking on all of these solutions today. I'll just be focusing on ones pertaining more to the municipalities, which would be a little bit of the smart work zones, traffic data collection, and a little bit on the video LiDAR. Some of our partners is Vermac, Carmana, Pexco, Gaveco Markings, Plasticade, Availed, and MDI. So those are some that we'll be talking about today in this presentation. Some of our members, obviously, Association of Manitoba Municipalities. In Saskatchewan, we have SARM, the Municipalities of Saskatchewan, SUMA, and then in Alberta, the RMA as well. The agenda that we're going to be going through today, and I'm just going to touch base as well. There's a few that had signed up for this video, and you were on a Livable Communities a few weeks ago, so you're going to see a lot of the same stuff coming through. I've kind of critiqued it more specific to the AMMs and the municipalities. So if you see a little bit of redundancy, just bear with us, but there is a bit of extra content in here as well. So part of the agenda today, we'll be talking about pedestrian safety, bike lanes, parkways, and pathways, touch base on special event management, a few of our traffic calming products, a little bit on data collection. An exciting new feature will be an online store, which will be coming in the next couple of months. And we'll touch base on our asset management maintenance. So getting into pedestrian safeway, our main suppliers is Carmana, which is our crosswalks, Impact Recovery Systems, Gaveco Markings, Green Top, and Avail Technologies. Pedestrian safety, this was a source of Carmana. So basically they did some test sites in BC. So before the RFBs were installed, it was about a 50% issues about people crossings, and they didn't feel safe. So after they put in the RFBs, 98% of the people felt safer crossing. So we've installed quite a few of these in Manitoba. We're probably at about 30 right now. Some of the people on the call have them in their municipalities. And this is becoming more of a popular item just to make sure that they're put into school zones or high traffic areas where people don't feel safe crossing the roads. So we'll get into some more of these, the RFBs in the next few slides. So why Carmanah for powered crosswalks? Our RFBs stand for rectangular rapid flashing beacons. They're automated power management. You can see the solar panel at the top there. They're user-friendly. They're lightweight with a compact design. There's minimal repairs. There's a low cost of the ownership compared to the competitors. It's the quick maintenance with ATS. What we do is each of our branches has an extra set on hand. So if something went wrong with your solar panel or your flashing beacon or your Polera Bulldog, we would be able to get those switched out for you within a day or two. Something new for 2021 is we are going to look at renting these out. So these would be, say, for instance, if you had a festival in town where you had a lot of people crossing and it wasn't safe, we could look at doing a temporary install for these for a weekend or a week. We'd come out, do the install. We'd put up signs saying that there's a crosswalk ahead, and it would just add a little bit more safety to your town. So that's maybe something to think about if you are looking at having a festival this year, or if you are doing construction in a town where you need to move your sidewalk and it's not safe to do so. This might be an idea for you guys to look at renting from us for a few weeks. Crosswalks can be installed on a couple different types of posts. These are installed on a 4.5-inch round with a breakaway and a screw anchor. So the picture on the left, we did an install in Riding Mountain in the Harrison Park municipality. This was done in the late spring. The one in the middle was actually done in Ile-des-Chênes, and on the right is just showing what we're using here. So it's a 4.5-inch round. It's got the proper breakaway. It's got the 5-foot ground screw. So all of these meets provincial MI specs. We can also install these on smaller posts, and that'll be in the next slide. Something else that I wanted to just point out as well, you'll notice that all the RFBs are above the crosswalk sign. So this is how MI has set this up. So this is the standard for all crosswalks. If you're putting it below, then it's not meeting their MI provincial spec. Here's some other ones that we've done. So these can be done either on a 2 3/8 round or also a 2-inch square. So basically it's depending on budgetary reasons about what kind of post you want. And also maybe if it's on a major highway with a lot of high traffic and snow plows, you might want to go with a 4.5 round. But again, it boils down to budgetary and what the customer wants. The picture on the left, we did this install last December. That was in Tyndall. The one in the next to that was done in Lac du Bonnet in 2018. The one next to that was done in Niverville 2 years ago. And the one on the right was done in Stonewall back in 2018. Stonewall is one of the towns that has really taken this on. They've now purchased 6 of these, and they're looking at purchasing 2 more. They believe that they want to keep their community and their pedestrians safe. So they're along the highways, they're by their schools, they're along the pathways. So they've really taken a hold of this, and there's been so much positive feedback that they're putting in at least 2 into their budget yearly. What we can also do is this was done in the city of St. Albert. So if anyone wanted to have their logo below the sign, we have the capabilities of doing it. We would just need a copy of your logo in a high PDF format, and we could certainly put your logo onto basically any sign that you would want to have created. Some additional crosswalk enhancements. There's a few that have purchased these. So the pet in the bag is from Impact Recovery Systems. Although the picture is showing that it says state law, it'll be customized to the Canadian version. Pet in the bags, basically the whole thing folds down, goes into a nylon bag. So these could be used at school crossings where the guards come out, set it up in the middle. It's a great extra tool to have, especially where there's elementary schools. The next one is Gaveco markings. This is new to ATS last year. The company is actually, I believe, out of Germany. These will go into a little bit more detail about the markings. And we're also going to be looking at doing a demo for this Quebeco markings at our ATS location in Winnipeg, late spring into summer. When that time comes, what I will be doing is sending out an invite for anyone that wants to come and see how this is applied. And then you guys can make a decision to come and take a look at it. There's another one, Green Top, which is the illuminated overhead crosswalk signs. We haven't sold any of these in Manitoba, but it's a very popular item in Alberta and in BC. This is kind of similar to what MI does for their major crosswalks. Again, it's preference. The RFBs seem to be obviously a lot cheaper, but if you wanted more visibility, we could look at doing the green top overhead ones as well. To the right, there's the LED enhanced traffic signs from Avail Technologies. This can just bring more attention to the crosswalk sign, or these could be used for a stop sign or a yield sign. It runs off the same solar panel as your Carmana RFBs. Again, it just brings more visibility to the areas that you have maybe that are a low visibility, or you want to bring highlight to a warning area. Some more traffic calming products. We just signed a contract with the IRD, which is International Road Dynamics, based out of Saskatoon. I'll go into the next slides in more detail. This unit has the capabilities of giving you 3 different screens, multi-colors, and we have exclusive pricing for AMM. The next one, I don't know a lot about, but there is a new product out for 3D crosswalks. It's becoming more popular in Europe and in the States. And the last one I mentioned in the other one was the solar powered flashing beacons. MI uses these, you'll see them on the highways where there's a high traffic area or an intersection, just to bring attention to the stop sign, or the yields can be used on a divided highway. Again, it runs off the same solar panel for the RFBs, and then it's simply choosing your light, whether it's the red or the orange. It's a quick install that can either be mounted on a wood pole on the side mounts, it can go on a square, or it can go on a 4.5-inch round. So the iSafe one, we've sold just a few of these. We just actually kind of had a soft launch in Manitoba back in the fall. We had a few municipalities purchase these. The key thing with this is it is not a cloud-based system. It is a Bluetooth system. However, it holds up to 540,000 measures, which means that you could basically pull your data off once every 3 to 4 weeks. So you have plenty of time to collect the data, see what's happening, and go from there. You can change the messages as well on there. If you have your speed and then below or beside it, you can change it to slippery roads. There's quite a few different options on here. Main thing is it's in Saskatoon. We have about a 1 to 2 week delivery time on these. The iSafe one meets both the 11-inch and 15-inch display. It comes with a 95-watt solar panel, and it can mount to all types of poles. It can be on a round, it could be on a square, or it could be on a wood one. It has 2 to 3 numerical speed text, so we can go up to 100 kilometers. You can do the messages and pictures. It has the 3 different colors, green, orange, or red. And this is locally serviced by ATS. Again, like I said, they're manufactured in Saskatoon, so it's a 1 to 2 week delivery time on these. Something I just wanted to throw in, it doesn't really fit into the presentation, but it is about Quebeco, and we had one of our AMMs order this for a sample. It's chip fill, so if you have any roads that have a little bit of a chip and you need to fill it up, this comes in a 26-pound bag. It can be applied anytime throughout the year. It's quick and easy. It takes about 20 minutes from start to finish. We did some testings in Saskatoon and Regina last year around this time of year, and the response coming back from them was that it was a great product. It hasn't peeled away, and they're looking at purchasing more of this just for quick fills, and it saves a little bit of time and money. We're going to move into our bike lanes, parks, and pathways. Focusing on some products from Impact Recovery, PEXCO, First Lights, Quebeco, and Traffics. So bike lanes, parkways, and pathways. This is a source from CAA. Basically, 44% of Canadians say they would cycle more if they felt safer cycling on the roads. 64% of Canadians expect that there'll be more cyclists on the road in the next 5 years. And 63% of Canadians believe there is a need for further investment in cycling infrastructure in their communities. So some of the bike lane solutions, this is a product from Impact Recovery Systems. It can come in different colors. These ones here show the green, which is usually for bikeways. There's also the white ones. It's a two-part system. The base of the system is just bolted down, and then those posts in the middle are just locked in with a pull key. So they also have the ability, if these were hit, they'll actually rebound back up. We've sold a few of these to the city of Winnipeg, and there's a lot of this that they've done in the city of Edmonton as well. Another one is your FG 300 posts and your PEXCO city posts. So the difference between these two, the city posts are actually cored into the ground. There's an anchor that goes in, and then the whole pole screws into that anchor. So the good thing about these is they could be taken out in the fall, and then there's a plastic cap that goes into the base to keep it covered for the winter. And then in the springtime, you could just pop out that cap and screw your post back in. The other one is the FG 300 posts. You would have seen these probably on Highway 75 or Highway 1. They can be used for delineation, or they can be used for bike lanes. They come in different colors. You can get them in green, you can get them in white, you can get them in yellow. If anyone's been in downtown in the city of Winnipeg purchased a lot of these for the bike lanes on Sherbrooke, the green ones. They can be installed in a few different ways. There's basically the base, and you can use a butyl pad that sticks down to the pavement, or they can be bolted into the concrete or bolted into the asphalt. We can talk about a little bit about the Gaveco Aqua Roots and the Plaster Roots. We did get a sample of this in last year, and we're going to be looking at doing something at the airports, hopefully late spring, fall. This is a cold application. It can be applied to concrete or to asphalt. The main thing with this is that the surface has to be clean and free of any debris. Then it has to be sealed with a sealer. And then this stuff is actually laid down with a roller and just painted on. This is another one that they've done. So the green is the plaster root that was laid down before. And then they've applied the Gaveco marking. They're using the blowtorch there to put that on top and then just seal that into the pavement. And as mentioned before, we want to do a demo in the spring. When we get closer to that time, I will send out an email request for people to come and watch the demo. Getting on to solar powered pathway lighting, we partnered up with First Light Technologies. They're out of Victoria, BC. They have a few different options. There's the PLB, the really short one. Then there's the middle bollard, and then the SCL2 series solar lights. Those are the ones that we focus mainly on. The great thing about this is there's a few things. It looks like a powered solar light, so vandalism is minimal. It has a nice design to it. Everything is compact in that top unit. That's where the battery is, a solar panel. These last anywhere from up to 8 to 10 years. You can also program it through an Android phone to change the dimness or the brightness. They're fairly quick to install. But again, it's a great way to add lighting to a pathway. It's also great if you have areas in a new community where you have mailboxes where it's really, really dark. You can install these, and there's a few pictures that are coming up to show that as well. So this was some stuff that we had done in Alberta. Devon, the community, had purchased about 36 of the bollards on a pathway. And then they decided to go with the SCL2s, and they purchased around 40 of these. This was a 2-year project. The pictures on the right was North Battleford. They're our first major customer. They had a lot of crime downtown, and street lighting that was there currently was just not enough light at night. So First Light helped us do a analysis, and the first year they ended up purchasing 30 of these for their downtown area, both the SCL2s and the Bollards. And then just last year, what they've done now is they've started to put these in back lanes. Again, just they didn't have a lot of luminosity from the regular lights. So they've worked on a program to put these down the back lanes to bring a little bit more lights in the event to help for the vandalism. So in Manitoba, thank you, Cole. Cole was Braden from McDonald was one of the first to purchase these. So the picture is in LaSalle in a new development where there's mailboxes. We put this in the fall of, I believe, 2017. So what happens, you can see on the right where the luminosity is at night, so you can at least see your mailboxes. So for anyone that has areas that are totally dark, this is a great way to bring light to the area. There's no trenching. Install happens within half an hour. Self-contained units, and there's basically maintenance free to them. Again, Ard McDonald, over the last couple of years, has now purchased 6 of these. This is on a parkway, I believe in Oak Bluff. And we're also looking at doing a major project with them, hopefully this spring, looking at anywhere from 36 to 40. Again, the great thing about these is you don't have to have any trenching. You have no monthly bills. It's self-contained. So it's a little bit of a higher ticket item, but if it's something you work into your budget, you can look at doing this in a progress and do a couple of years until you finish your pathway. Typical distance between these for proper luminosity would be 80 feet apart. But if your budget doesn't warrant it, what we've done is we've placed them 160 feet apart. And then over the next few years, you go back and then you plunk them in between to give you the proper 80 feet apart. If you look on the right, you can kind of see how small these units are. The solar panel at the top, underneath is the lights, and then it's just mounted to the pole. You can also do these on round poles. There's a side mounts, or you can use the square poles. And they come in 2 different colors, black or bronze. This is the ground screws that we use. These come out of the States. It's a 5-foot ground screw that attaches to our skid steer. So once the locates are done, we come in and we basically hook it up. It drills it into the ground. And then on the right, there's the 4 bolts that mount to the base plates. And basically once it's bolted in, your street light is ready to go. There's another product called Traffics. This is for counting bikes or trails. We haven't sold a lot of these, but this is a product that comes out of Alberta. So the Parks of Canada uses these. It's a long battery life. It's quick to set up. It runs off batteries. So you could go set this up, take your counts, and then figure out if you wanted to change a few things in your pathways. We're going to move into special event management. I'm just going to touch base quickly on a couple items in this slide. So the main one that we've done is, if you look on the right, there's a Vermac message board. The town of Stonewall used this the last couple of years for their quarry days. So we've gone and set these up a few days prior to them closing down their streets. So it's just a good way to inform your residents that the street's going to be closed and alternate routes are available. And we can either bring these out and set them up, or you can come and pick them up at our office and take them to the site, and we can have them pre-programmed for you. Again, that's just a great way of just bringing extra information to the customers. We also have, if you look at the green, those are the from Plasticade. They come in different colors. It's used for crowd control. So you can get them in white, you can get them in green, and they basically just interlock to create a fenced off area. And the other thing is the traffic, basically not allowing cars to come through. If you had an area where you didn't want cars trying to travel through, then we'd use that as a brake vehicle barrier. We're going to get into a little bit about data collection. A few we've already talked about, but I'm just going to highlight some other things that we can use as well. So not only does Trafix have the pet counter, but it also has a vehicle counter. It's the same unit with a different attachment. It can count 1 or 2 lanes of traffic. There's no external wires or tubes. It has a long battery life up to 1 to 2 years. It can be in a range of -40 to +55. These are relatively inexpensive. You're looking at under $2,000 to use these. So it'd be a quick way if you wanted to get traffic counts, even on gravel roads or in rural areas, this might be the way to go just as a cost-effective measure. Another one is an armadillo tracker. It kind of does the same thing. It's fully integrated. It's bi-directional, so it counts traffic in both ways. It's really non-intrusive. It has sensing technology. It has a long range of wireless connectivity. We also rent these as well. So if someone wanted to get some counts of traffic, we rent these for about $80 a day. Any of these slides that I'm going through later on, if you want more information, I can send you some more information on specifically to each product that we're talking about here. Houston Radar also has a speed lane. The city of Winnipeg has purchased 10 of these. It's a little bit more in depth about capturing the data. I think for most municipalities, you could either use the Trafix counter or the Armadillo. This one's a little bit more expensive, but you'll get the same information from the Houston Radar that we showed you, the Armadillo, earlier. What's going to be coming soon within the next probably 2 to 3 months, I'm giving that a little bit more time, is finally ATS Traffic is going to be having an online store. So any AMM customer is going to be able to log into the master account, and then you'll be able to go to your specific account, and you'll be able to order products online. So it'll be already set up for your AMM specific online pricing. You'll be able to review your orders. There's going to be a lot of other stuff. I don't know a lot about it. They've tried the testing with the Saskatchewan highways for the last year. So they're just working out all the final details. So this is something that we're excited about. So going forward, if you're computer savvy and you don't want to deal with me and you want to deal online, this will be a great tool for you guys. And what we'll be doing probably in the next month or so is, once we get closer to that time, what we're going to do is we'll send out a online invite, and then at that time you'll be able to go in and create your own customized online information. So it's going to be similar to this, putting in all the information. You guys are all under one master account, and then what there'll be a drop-down screen for you to pick your specific account. But again, all the pricing will be already preloaded, so it might be something that you may want to take advantage coming in the next few months. A little bit about asset management and maintenance. We haven't done this. There's no one in Manitoba that's using this yet, but it's something that accounts should start looking at doing. If you notice on all of your signs that are coming in from us, on the back, there's going to be a little QR code with that tag and the Reflector app. So basically, you're able to go into this app. You can download it on your phone. You can scan the QR code, and then it's going to bring up, you can set your location. So basically what it can be is, if you want to start tracking where all your signs are, this would be a great tool to use. If you want more information on this, I can reach out to the IntelliTraffic team and get more information for you. There would be a fee to access certain parts of it, but if you're looking at an asset sign management program or integrated into what you have, it might be a good opportunity for you. So basically, you can track all your signs that you've put in. You can even get detail to what kind of post you put it on, the exact location, and then you have everything on your phone. So if a sign went missing, you know exactly the type of sign it was, when it was installed, and all the information will be right on that QR code. And then again, you'd get your detailed map. So again, if you want more information on this, I'm not 100% familiar on it, but I will certainly get you information on it, and then go from there. And that's the end of the presentation. So I kind of went through it quickly. Most of the stuff I could spend a lot of time talking on it, but it gives you a good idea of what we have to offer. So I'll pass it back to Ainsley. And if you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Great. Thank you, Jill, for that comprehensive overview. That was great. So before we get into Q&As, I just want to thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedule to participate in this webinar. Remember, we're here to support our members and providing continued services at this time. So I encourage you to reach out to myself to set up a meeting or conference call with your team so we can review your unique procurement requirements and I can outline our program in further detail. So I think there was one question that came through, but give you some time to think of some questions and we can definitely answer them. So the first question that we have here, let's see. Okay, one of the questions that came through is, will all municipalities have the same price or will this tailor to bigger municipalities to get bigger discounts on volume?
So right now, AMM has standard pricing on all signs. When it comes to specific items like the Carmanas or the First Lights, what we'll do is it'll be based on quantities. So what's standard pricing and setup is your signs. Anything that is, like I said, the solar lights or anything like that will be specific pricing, but it will be better than we give to anyone else. So it just, and then there's a lot that goes into it. It depends on how many units, and we can work with the manufacturers to try to get you better pricing.
Great. Not sure if there's any other questions. What was the delivery time, did you say again? Like, is there any kind of problems with inventory right now with what's going on, or just?
So sign wise, we stock about 50 of the top ranked signs in Manitoba in our Winnipeg office. So if you're looking at like 50 to 90 kilometer signs or stop signs or yields or no parking, we have those on hand so we could get those turned around with you to you within a day. If it's a customized sign that has to be done from scratch, it's usually 7 to 10 days. So we have to also factor in the shipping from Alberta. And then if you're looking at a large quantity of signs, so if you're looking at a civic sign program where you're looking at 300 to 400, those are usually a 3 to 4 week window of delivery.
Great. Not sure if there's any other questions anybody had. Also, some questions I get from members are about like line paint. You guys do that as well, right?
We do sell line paint. Yeah, so we can get the white or the yellow in 5-gallon pails. We don't sell a lot of it. A lot of the municipalities usually like to deal with their local home hardware. There's different brands out there. The brand that we use and sell would be Cloverdale. It's either in a latex version, which is easy to clean, but it's also very expensive, or they can go to the acrylic solvent-based, which is about half the price. It lasts longer, but there's a little bit more issues with the cleanup of it, especially if you're using a Gaveco, or not a Gaveco, a Graco line painter. Water-based is easier on the system, but again, it's personal preference.
Okay, that's great. So some other questions that came through is, what is the lifespan of the batteries in the Carmana crosswalks?
So the Carmana right now, all the ones that are out there have a 2-battery system. The autonomy on those is anywhere from 21 to 25 days. We installed some crosswalks at the Grace Hospital 7 years ago, and we've yet to replace the battery. So that just goes to show you how long they do last. A lot of it depends on the number of activations. So even at a rough estimate, if they're doing 200 activations a day, because they're LED lights, they don't draw a lot of power. And because there's a 2-battery system, if one battery's low, it'll kick into the other one. So I'm safe to say that batteries will last anywhere from 5 to 7 years minimum.
Great. More questions about line paint. Do you sell line paint approved by Transport Canada for airport runways?
We can, that would be a Cloverdale again. So then I believe the ones for the airport would be an acrylic based, solvent based, which would be, yeah, we can get that.
Okay.
So
And
you'd
another,
actually add beads to those ones as well. So we'd have to get the beads. So the basic paint is not reflectorized. So for the airports, you would look at getting a beading system. So if you had the line painter, then you would get the beads separately, and then it's mixed, and then that's sprayed onto the lines.
okay, great. Another one about the line paints is, do you have some kind of stencils or some kind of like crosswalk paints?
I believe that we do. If you want to get the email address, I can follow up. I believe that we did used to have stencils for the tiger stripes or the zebra stripes. I'm not 100% accurate on that, but I can certainly find that information out for you.
Great. I'm not sure. We have a couple minutes here. If anybody has any last minute questions, feel free to enter them in the Q&A panel or the chat panel. I do have some questions about like strategic planning. I'm not sure if you talked about that too much, but like setting up barriers for festivals and that kind of thing. Can you talk a bit more about how you'd go about that?
So that would be all through our rental program. So the best thing to do would be call our office, speak to the rentals, and then they'd be able to help you out exactly with what you need. So if you needed the barricades or anything like that, they would figure out the amount that you need. We could either come and set it up for you, or you could come and pick it up and set it up yourself and return. So we have access to, we don't have the plasticades, we don't rent those, but we do rent metal barricades. So yeah, that's something that the rental department could handle and help you out with.
Okay, great. I don't think there's any other questions, so we can wrap up then if
So
that's,
I
yeah,
do want to mention one quick thing, sorry.
sure, go ahead.
For most of you, our sign pricing has not increased. We had a slight increase last year when the issues with aluminum went up. So basically the pricing that was in those AMM pamphlets hasn't gone up in 2 years. We're looking at a small increase just because aluminum has gone up this year, but it hasn't been rolled out yet. But so there will be a minimal increase to your signs within under 5%. So if you need any pricing, the best thing to do is just email me directly and I'll get you the proper pricing on the signs. But as of today, our pricing has not gone up, but there will be a slight increase within probably the next month or so.
Well, it's a good incentive for like budget time and to get your
Yes,
orders
and then
in
we had a
then,
lot of
yeah.
people depending, we did some big sign orders in December just for wrapping up their budgets. And then I know a lot of municipalities or March is their fiscal year end. So you
Okay,
may want to think about ordering extra if there's a slight increase coming to you.
great. Yeah, there was some last minute questions that came in here too. So what would the rough costs for the bike lane post options that were shown in the presentation be?
I don't know the pricing offhand for, I know the FG 300s. You're looking at about $53 per post. I don't have pricing off the top of my head for the ones that have the mounted base with the one impact recovery in the middle. So I'll have to get back to that person on that.
Okay. And we have one more here. Will the online store have pricing included? I believe you said it does.
Yes, so when you log in and you go to your account and you key in a RA1 or whatever item it's going to pop up with your correct pricing. So it'll be by line item. So it's not going to show you, you won't know your pricing until you key in the code. And I don't know, I'm assuming that our office will be sending out maybe a master list with our codes so that you'll be able to key in the proper item. So for just to give you an example, an RA1, which is a stop sign, there's either 60 by 60, 75 by 75, 90 by 90, 30 by 30, 45 by 45. It can be engineer grade, it can be HIP, it can be diamond grade. So we have a lot of SKUs associated with one master RA1. So I think what we're probably going to do is we'll be able to give you the codes that you would need to use to key these in. When you key in that code, then your pricing will pop up with the AMM price.
Great. Are you able to provide any demos or is it pretty user friendly? Like,
I believe
For
there'll
the,
be demos. Like I said, this is all
yeah.
new. They've done a test. I think there will have to be demos. We'll probably be the first ones just to make sure that we feel that it's user friendly. With any online system, there's always a little bit of kinks. So I would think that there would be a demo to go through and try prior to actually setting yourself up.
Okay. Yeah, and another question came through is how much is the chip fill? Can it be used year round?
It can be used year round. Actually, Clint, if he's on the call, he ordered a bag. I think it's $126 a bag, 126.55. It's a 26-pound bag. We have stock in Edmonton, so we could have it shipped to you within probably 5 business days.
Great. And you do like custom signs as well, like so if there's nothing,
Absolutely. Yep.
yeah,
We can
basic or
do
anything.
a digital print with 1170 overlam, which will prevent fading, cracking, peeling. That also comes with a 7-year prorated warranty. For any customized sign, if you want a digital print, we would require a proper format, which would be either a vector file or a high quality PDF, so that when we print it, we get a good quality. If we just get a regular JPEG, it will not work. If it's blown up, it'll become too jagged. So we would require proper artwork on your end, but we can produce any customized sign, any size that you'd like.
Have you been getting many requests related to like social distancing and COVID related things?
There was a big push for that last year. I'd sent out a master pamphlet with all of our standard COVID-19 signs. So we sold a fair amount, last year, February, March, April. We still make these. If someone wants to have more information, I have about a 10-page document that has different COVID-19 signs on there, or we could customize one to suit their needs.
Great. Yeah, there's another question that came through. How many locations do you have?
I believe there is on that PowerPoint, I can't remember, 7. We have 1 in Manitoba, there is 2 in Saskatoon, 2 in Calgary, and 2 in BC. And we're looking this year to expand to the east, hopefully somewhere around the Mississauga area.
Okay, great. And what kind of reflecting tape would you use for pedestrian crosswalks?
For like the actual sign?
If that attendee wants to clarify that, I'm not sure.
So the crosswalks, the RA4Ls
Oh,
or Rs, or the RA3s, which would be your school crosswalk, all of our standard signs are HIP, high intensity prismatic. If you wanted diamond grade, we could go to that, but it's not the spec. You don't have to have diamond grades, but it's something that we certainly we can do for you.
yeah, they said it's for to place around the poles, like if it's a dark area.
Oh, around the poles, if we can get that customer's information, there's another product that you could attach to the pole. It's called Bright Light. It has a reflective band in it that you can screw to the pole to bring more visibility. And those would either be in HIP or diamond grades. And there's different colors. There's a yellow, there's a red, there's a green. So I'd be happy to pass on more information to the customer.
Great. Those are some really good questions. I'll just give everyone a minute if they have any last minute questions coming through. But like I said, feel free to reach out to Jill after the presentation or myself, and we can get any answers you're looking for. But yeah, I don't think there's any other questions that came through. So yeah, thank you, Jill, for answering all those questions. And thank you so much for the presentation today. That was really great. So we got a lot of good updates and information. So, and like I said, I will be sending out a recording and information in the next day or so. So be on the lookout for that. But otherwise, yeah, thank you, Jill. And thank you everybody for your time, and take care and stay safe.
Thank you everyone for joining today. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me and I will get back to you with an answer, or I will send you more information specific to what you're looking for.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.